So there are some of you who are coming to me, telling me, no, you should do this. Hey, you should write Hakainde Hichilema. You should engage Hakainde Hichilema. Whatever, whatever. My brothers, stop putting the responsibility on me. Stop putting the responsibility on me. I want you to hear me and hear me well. Stop putting the responsibility on me. Like Hakainde Hichilema, for Hakainde Hichilema to appoint me, I must do this. Stop it. From tonight, I want you to stop. Stop telling me, do this for Hakainde Hichilema to recognize you, for Hakainde Hichilema to appoint you. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And I have also been thinking about it. And I've reached a point where I'm saying, no, I shouldn't be doing things so that Hakainde Hichilema can recognize me. Hakainde Hichilema can recognize me. Yes, of course, sometimes I have also gone in that, in that way of thinking. No. I'm losing myself. I'm losing myself. I want to be who I am. I want to be who I am. I don't want to pretend. I have never been a pretender. I don't want to start pretending now. I want to be who I am. I am supporting Hakainde Hichilema, but I want to support Hakainde Hichilema as Chilufya Tayali the way I am. And I don't want people to be saying, hey, do this so that Hakainde Hichilema, hey, Hakainde Hichilema is trying you, whatever. Stop speaking for Hakainde Hichilema. Stop. Stop speaking for Hakainde Hichilema. And stop telling me what to do so that Hakainde Hichilema can recognize me. I am not a stranger to President Hakainde Hichilema. I'm not a stranger to President Hakainde Hichilema. President Hakainde Hichilema doesn't need anyone to introduce me to him. No. I'm not a stranger to President Hakainde Hichilema. I'm not. Hakainde Hichilema knows me. Hakainde Hichilema knows where I am. Hakainde Hichilema knows what is going around me. He knows. He knows. He knows. It's not today. It's not today that I've come on the scene. Hakainde Hichilema knows me. And if Hakainde Hichilema really looks at me that I'm needed somewhere in his team, he will call me. He will call me. They will call me. I've done enough. I am like, the way I am like a player that plays not in a league. Okay? Not in a league. That player, that open player, a player who doesn't belong to any big team. I play in a small team. And which team is that? I am still president of Economic and Equity Party. And in that position, I have shown what I can do. I've shown what I can do. And the people have seen. You have seen what I can do. You know what I can do. If you know what I can do. If you know me, how do you think that Hakainde Hichilema doesn't know me? How? You know what I can do. Hakainde Hichilema doesn't know. Hakainde Hichilema knows. Hakainde Hichilema knows. And if really he needs me, he will call me and recruit me in his team. If he doesn't, I'll continue playing. I'll continue playing. I'll continue being a political player, being a political activist. I'll continue. At the moment, I will still remain Economic and Equity Party president. Of course, I'm not in Zambia, so there is somebody that is acting president in Zambia. And I'm sure some of you have seen that our acting president, Mr. Shafwepa, is doing his best. Economic and Equity Party it's doing its thing in Zambia. I don't interfere. And it is very interesting if you follow how Mr. Shafwepa is taking Economic and Equity Party in Zambia. You know, Mr. Shafwepa is actually on the Tonse alliance of Given. That's where he is. You know, I don't interfere. I don't interfere because when you are not substantive, I'm not substantive. I'm not the one in the seat now. There's somebody that is acting in my place. So that person who is acting in my place, I don't need to interfere. I don't interfere. I don't pick up a phone and say, "Hey, Mr. Shafwepa, what are you doing?" What? No, I don't. Mr. Shafwepa is the acting president. He's free, you know, to get into whatever he thinks, even political alliances. Let him. He's there. He's there. But for me, I am out here. So what is so in terms of Hakainde Hichilema? Nami papa tamwe wantu lekeni kunje bati, hey Chitefi, hey do this, hey do this, hey do this, hey apologize. How many times am I going to say apologies? How many times am I going to say that? Hey, appeal to Hakainde Hichilema, please. How many times am I going to appeal to Hakainde Hichilema? So, if you want to intervene, if there is anything that you want to do, you want to help in this situation, don't talk to me. Don't come with advices to me. Talk to Hakainde Hichilema. Talk to Hakainde Hichilema. He is the boss. He is the one who is supposed to recruit players. He is the one who is supposed to recruit players. If you think I can participate in his team, if you think I can play well in his team, talk to him, not me. Nakana, stop it. Not me. I have done enough. Of course, there are things that I've done which are wrong, but there are also things that I've done which are positive. And it's up to him to choose what he wants. And you can't force him. You can't force him. It's up to him. He can choose, you know, to say, okay, I mean, we can work together. Or he can say, no, I don't need it. It's him. It's him. But for me, I will continue doing my thing. And if at one point, there is somebody that can recognize my effort, and can consider my circumstances, trust me, I will go with that. I will go with that. I'm not a duplicity person. I'm not a duplicity person. I am here showing to say this is what I can do. Because I'm a politics in Shale. I'm not stopping now. I haven't even yet started. In Chiriko, I've never even occupied a public office. I want to occupy a public office. And I don't mind even to start as a councillor. But I want to rise through the ranks. I don't want to jump to presidency. No. Me, I want to go through the ranks. Go up. That's what I want. And yeah, I'm not that young, but I think I'm young enough. I've got even 20 years ahead of me for me to do this and that, to rise through the ranks. So I'm not in a hurry. So I'll continue doing politics. And if circumstances favor me to say I should support somebody else other than Hakainde Hichilema, I'll do it. It's true. I'll do it. If to you think that is not loyalty, then that is your thinking. That is in your thinking. Because some of you, no, you have to be loyal. Loyalty is on both sides. You can't just be loyal to people who are not loyal to you. You can't. Loyalty is on both sides. You can't just be accusing a person. No, you are not loyal. What about you? Are you loyal to the other person? No, you are not consistent. What about you? Are you consistent to the other person? Because there are a number of times that people have not been consistent to me. They have not been consistent to me. And yet you people, you expect, no. Consistency. What about those other people? Have they been consistent to me? No, you betrayed by Edgar Lungu. You betrayed by Edgar Lungu. Was by Edgar Lungu consistent to me? Was by Edgar Lungu consistent to me? No, you betrayed whoever. What about those people? Have they been consistent to me? Why do you always put this big responsibility on me? You always look at me. No, Tayali, you should be consistent. Tayali, you should be loyal. What about others? Why don't you also tell them to be loyal to me? Why don't you tell others to also consider me? Why don't you? I do things for them. I do come out here. And I do things. I offer myself. When I give myself to help someone, I go all in. I go all in when I give myself. When I pledge my support for you, I just go all in. All in. And I've done this for a number of politicians. I've done this, including President Hakainde Hichilema. I've done it. When President Hakainde Hichilema, at the height of PF, supremacy, when PF was in power, they were strong by PF. And I was actually in very good boots with them. Very good boots with them. They arrested Hakainde Hichilema. When they arrested Hakainde Hichilema and charged him with treason, I did not pull back to come and defend Hakainde Hichilema. Among the people that defended Hakainde Hichilema when he was arrested for treason, among the people that contributed heavily around that time, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people, unless Tamuta Shafi. But really, Ngamula Tasha. Thank you to Bamdala Bakachingwe. He wrote in his book, he did recognize my effort. When Bakachingwe, wrote his book, I've forgotten the title, but he did recognize me. And thank you, Hakainde Hichilema himself, even when he came out in his speech, he did recognize me. Thank you. Thank you very much. There were other instances again when I did not agree with PF and agreed with Hakainde Hichilema. 2021, which Hakainde Hichilema went through, I was supporting Hakainde Hichilema. I did contribute in a way. Even after UPND won power, I have done there times when I have come all out to help out the UPND. I have done it. Surely, what more do you want? But of course, there are also wrong things that I've done. So it is up to you to choose. If you want, you can emphasize my negativity. That's you. But there are others that will look at my positivity to say, well, this person has done this. So I am tired of this kind of nonsense to say, no, do this, Hakainde Hichilema, do this. No. If he doesn't want, he doesn't want. If he doesn't want me to be part of his team, he doesn't want. If he wants me, he will definitely bring me in. So, I'm a politics, and this is the attitude that I'm taking now. I am not going to be operating so that I please or I ingratiate myself to President Hakainde Hichilema. I'm not going to do that. Or anybody else. I will play my politics, and to those who will recognize me, I will say thank you very much. For now, I am supporting President Hakainde Hichilema, and I will do whatever I can to help Hakainde Hichilema retain power. I know some of you might say, no. I mean, he's okay. He's okay. He doesn't need you. Some people have been saying, we don't need you. After all, we are winning. It's okay. It's okay. Pride sometimes can crowd people's judgment. But I will help Hakainde Hichilema. What he does, really, that is up to him. And we can't know what Hakainde Hichilema is thinking. I have done this. I support people all out. In terms of the PF, You see, like even when I started with Brian Mundubile, I went all out to support Brian Mundubile. I went all out to support Brian Mundubile. And I'm not taking anything away from Brian Mundubile. He did his best, that we worked together, to push the agenda at that moment. When Edgar Lungu saw that things are looking good, he showed interest in coming back Alebo de Rapport agenda. I fought Alebo de Rapport agenda big time. I did a lot of things, to fight for Alebo de Rapport agenda. And in the process, I attracted a number of cases. Some of these cases which have brought me where I am. I am here because of pushing the Alebo de Rapport agenda, fighting for Edgar Lungu. Since I came out of Zambia, fighting for Alebo de Rapport agenda, how did Valungu, treat me? How did Valungu treat me? I will not say he treated me bad. No. I don't think I will be fair to him. The only problem that I had with Edgar Lungu is that he was not able to execute some of the strategies that we had put in place. He was not able to execute them. He was not able to execute them. And when he was not able to execute them, he made the opposition very weak. He made the opposition very, very weak. And I was talking about this even when Edgar Lungu was alive. I was talking about this. Towards the end, I became frustrated. I even stopped talking. I closed the Facebook and whatever. I stopped talking. Because I was talking to Edgar Lungu, but he was not executing some of the strategies that we were coming up with. He was not. So, instead of what because I come on social media and say these things, I just said, let me close. Now, if you are talking about loyalty, if that is not loyalty, then what is loyalty? Where you are supporting somebody to the extent that you lose everything. I have lost everything. Me, I have lost everything. In Zambia, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I've lost everything. So even some of you who talk about to say, no, Tayali, you don't appreciate. I don't understand you. When you say, Tayali, you don't appreciate. I don't understand you. Who has lost everything for Edgar Lungu? I lost everything for Edgar Lungu. For Edgar Lungu, I lost everything. Everything. I have nothing. I lost everything for Edgar Lungu. I came out here to be a refugee when I had my own life. I had my own life. A good life. But I lost everything to push because of Edgar Lungu. Then Edgar Lungu, Edgar Lungu dies now. Edgar Lungu dies. People, instead of doing the right thing, they continue to use Ichitumbi Chawa Lungu as a political fetish. Ichishimba chama politics yabo. They want to build their political lives on Ichitumbi Chawa Lungu. On principle, I've refused to do that, to accept that. And it is based on that I have come out to say, you know what? I would rather support this man. I would rather support this man. That is the genesis of me turning around completely and start supporting Hakainde Hichilema. Because if you have people who can use Ichitumbi for political mileage, those are not good people. Those are not good people. Those are not people that I want to sacrifice my life for. So that is my change to coming and supporting President Hakainde Hichilema. And this situation has persisted. Tomorrow it will be 8 months. Tomorrow it will be 8 months. But 8 months, you're saying, if Valungu was alive, if Balungu was alive, and we have such an impasse, do you think Balungu would have maintained? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Balungu was that kind of person that would say, no, mpaka fie. No. Balungu, in a way, he was flexible. And sometimes he was too flexible, such that he was abused by others. Balungu used to listen. Balungu used to compromise. He used to compromise. And that is why we even have UPND in power today. Because Balungu used to compromise. Balungu used to listen. If Balungu was a stubborn man, UPND wouldn't be in power today. Because even at a time when, votes were counted and everything, there were people that were refusing to say, no, we haven't closed. But Balungu listened to other people, listened to other voices, and he conceded. It is not that Balungu, no, there were people that were putting Balungu under pressure not to concede. But other people reasoned with him, and he listened. So even in this instance, I strongly believe that if HH or if Edgar Lungu was alive, I don't think he would have allowed this thing to continue. I don't think he would have allowed this thing to continue. I think he would have given in. Even if he had the wishes and whatever, he would have given in by now. But it is people who are selfish, who keep Balungu in the mortuary so that they can sustain their political mileage. This is where I've refused to support them. And I cannot support them. And I want to tell you, maybe I can support you, Makebi Zulu, if you would change, if you have a change of heart. If you would have a change of heart, you would show humanity in this regard. Maybe I can even support you. Maybe I can even support you. But so far, these politicians that have been so adamant, I can't support you. I can't support you. Even if Hakainde Hichilema is messing up, whatever, I cannot support you because they won't do it. That is not being human, what you have been doing. It's not being human. And as we mark 8 months since Balungu died, tomorrow, I want to appeal to Esther Lungu. For how long are you going to continue leaving that man? You want Balungu to remain a skeleton, Mufriji. You want Balungu to remain a skeleton, Mufriji. Balungu movie wabo nangu musunge sha Mufriji. Ulebola. That is our nature. Umuntu ngafwa. You start decaying. The flesh which is on Balungu now, it is not flesh, it's ice. Nanguli savi ndarandarionse, nanguli savi. You buy fresh fish and you keep it in the fridge for a long time. It loses taste. It is not fish. Even when you come to cook it, nangumubike mwa spice shani, it is just not the same fish. It is not the same. So Balungu yaya ma ice block ya shereko it sheri ni skeleton. And Jimowa Mayowa Esther, you continue holding on to that. Budate wuntu. Te wuntu. No te wuntu. And I am. Some people are telling me, they were talking about Tasila. Some people are saying, no, support Brad Mundubile, then let's bring Tasila. Tasila can be the vice president. You can be part of the team, whatever. If we now a pange team, kuli Brad Mundubile, kuli abale pange team. Now a panga, Mundubile number one. Shanu. Now pange team. And they are proposing Tasila Lungu to be a vice president. Now, this is what I'm going to say objectively. That team can be a very good team. That team can be a very good team. It can be a very good team. Tasila Lungu deputizing Brian Mundubile, it can be a very good team. A very good team. Why? Because, first of all, Tasila, is inheriting the political fortunes of the father. Tasila is inheriting the political fortunes of the father. So when it comes to Mundubile, she brings in the political fortunes of the father. The father who is former president. And of course, that comes with also the resources. It comes with the resources. I know for sure that wherever the name of Edgar Lungu will pitch up, it will attract resources. Some of the resources, they are actually there. Me, I know. Some of the resources, they are actually there. Some of the resources which were deposited in other people's hands, they would come in to support Tasila. And of course, eventually, Brian Mundubile. So, a very good team. A very good team. Then, the other thing is, Tasila also has got a good character. A good character. I know Tasila. I know Tasila. I chatted with her a number of times here and there. She listens. She listens. I think I would say Tasila is just like the father. Tasila is just like the father. Because Valungu used to listen. And like I have said, sometimes Valungu used to be abused. Because he used to listen. But people that he was listening to, they were abusing him. Unfortunately, I would actually say the same thing for Tasila. That Tasila, she's also a very receptive person. A very receptive person. But some people, they just use Tasila. They just use Tasila. Right now, people want to use Tasila. People want to use Tasila. There are those who are saying, hey, let him go to Brian Mundubile. Others are saying, no, hey, Tasila cannot betray the father. But I'm talking about what is the problem with Tasila. Yes, Tasila is inheriting, but she, whatever, Tasila listens and whatever. What is the problem with Tasila? Tasila is the same way that her father was. Not having courage. Tasila inherits that. Balungu tawakwete courage. Balungu didn't have the courage to tell people to their faces. Tasila, if you are going to watch this, listen and listen good. Your father didn't have the courage to confront people to their faces. He didn't have. He didn't have the courage to tell people. No, he didn't have. This is why even today we have this confusion. Hey, anointed. Hey, I was anointed. Hey, I was anointed. A number of people have come up to say they were anointed. Why? Because Balungu didn't have the courage to tell off some people to say, iwe kabioko. Why? Because, whoever went to Balungu and convinced him, Balungu, he would be convinced. I think now Ulinga you. I think now Ulinga. I think Kutuaba. I think. So whoever went and convinced him in something, Valungu would give him or her that indication that he can take over. But that is not good. It is positive in a way when you listen to people. But at the end of the day, you should be your own person. You should have courage to tell people to say, this is my position. This is my position. Balungu didn't have that courage. And Tasila seems to be inheriting that. Not taking a bold step to tell people to say, this is not what I want. Balungu, so many people, at many instances, I can tell you many instances when Balungu changed. Many instances. One of the instances, for example, which made me so upset, It's when you remember Tasila had the press conference. It was Valungu, there were all those issues which were going on. And I was one of those people that insisted, no, you must have a press conference. No, you must have a press conference. You must have a press conference. You must have a press conference. And we agreed everything. Ina even went now, publicized, Valungu is going to have a press conference. Oh, there was going to be a press conference. There was going to be a press conference. And I tell you, the whole nation and the world at large, they were attentive, wanting to hear what Valungu is going to say. I was sitting in my house, waiting for that press conference, only to see Tasila having the press conference. I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. I rushed to Ibex. When I reached there, I was told, no, Makebi Zulu is the one that advised. That no, don't talk. I was upset. I was really, really upset. I was upset. I know, Makebi Zulu. How? We have been discussing this for a number of days. All of a sudden, Mwachinja. How? That was a big blow. But I'm giving you just one instance where Valungu used to change. And I am talking about this to show you that Valungu, even in this impasse, Ngachako Atbad, if he was alive, he would have changed, he would have compromised. Valungu would have not allowed this impasse for this long. He wouldn't have allowed it. He wouldn't have allowed it. Then I am saying to Tasila, these now people are coming up. Tasila should not go with Mundubide. No, Tasila should go with Mundubide. The question that I have is to Tasila. Tasila, where are you going? Where are you going? Has your political life ended? Has your political life ended? Has your political life ended? Tasila, has your political life ended? Tasila, you are a Zambian. You can speak like an American. You can have an American citizen, but you are a Zambian. Are you throwing away your roots as a Zambian? Are you throwing it away? Are you throwing it away? Because with the situation that you are in, I mean, it's difficult for you to go back to Zambia. It is difficult for you to advance in your political life. It is very difficult. Simply because you have not buried your father. Simply because you have not buried your father. You have lost your seat as a member of parliament. Simply because you have not buried your father. I mean, I don't like to be personal, but even on a personal level, Tasila, you have got a family. You have got a family. And a family with a heritage, so to say. You have got a heritage. Tasila, you have got a heritage. And yet, you are sitting like me, a refugee. Why are you being a refugee? Why are you being a refugee? Why is Tasila being a refugee? Why? Simply because you have not buried. If only you had buried, your life, Tasila, wouldn't be the same. By now, you would have still been a member of parliament. You would have still been a member of parliament. But look where we are. Look where we are. Tasila, by the fact that you have failed to bury your father, you are losing more, whilst others are gaining. You, Tasila, you have allowed people to eat off your plate. You have allowed people to eat off your plate, whilst you are starving and people are eating off your plate. Makebi Zulu is a nobody. He's a nobody, Makebi Zulu. He's a nobody. But Makebi Zulu is using your father's corpse to advance his political agenda. You are now weak color. Now weak color, so now weak color. Stuck. Nechitumbi. Makebi Zulu ambition Nechitumbi. Uyo afuma aisa na muku campaigner. He's campaigning Makebi Zulu. He wants to be president. On what? Based on what? The corpse of your father. Who is supposed to be taking anything? Who is supposed to be inheriting anything? If there is anything to inherit. Who? Especially politically. Who is supposed to inherit anything? Should it be Makebi Zulu? Sure. Should it be? These things, when we have been talking about, no, shikeni walungu, it is not out of whatever political aggrandizement. Particularly myself. Tell me, what benefit do I have by burying, asking Walungu to be buried? What benefit do I have? What benefit? What benefit do I have? Hakainde Hichilema didn't tell me to say, hey, do this for me, then I will give you whatever. No, he didn't. And, I mean, I've been talking about this. I'm still here. But you, Tasila, you have allowed people to make political fortune out of Ichitumbi Chawawisu. And you are losing out. Because you are nowhere. You are just like me. The only thing is that you are the former president. I don't know if I should even talk like that because I'm already a grandfather. Anyway. But otherwise, we are the same. But why should it be like that with you? Why? Why should it be like that with you? And I am very sure of this. I've not spoken to Tasila, but I'm very sure. Just like I'm sure that if we had this impasse and Walungu was alive, Walungu would not have allowed it to persist. I know Walungu would have changed. His mind would have said whatever. Walungu, look, even now president, you remember Edoba Satawafwide? Walungu was the acting president. When Guy Scott said, no, I'm the one who is supposed to, Walungu gave it. That was the nature of Walungu. So this nonsense of saying, no, we are respecting the wish of the deceased. Respecting the wish of the deceased. Fiabufi. They just use that because Walungu was not this stubborn. His stubbornness, yakwama ke bizulu. And Baesta. These two, I've been very clear. These two. Because I know Baesta is very stubborn. Very stubborn. Very stubborn. I know. And somebody will ask me, how do you know? Again, I don't just speak things from without. When I make such statements, I can back them. I saw how stubborn Esther was, Padikaranex, which led to Wakapokola wanting to cut the gate. I saw how stubborn she was on that. Up to today, she's still stubborn on that. That case shouldn't have been. That case wouldn't have escalated to where it went. But because of the stubbornness of Esther, that's how you saw Wakapokola cutting the gate. Because of the stubbornness of Wakapokola, cutting the gate. Even when she was locked up, at Emmasdale, Ibex police station. If you remember, go to those videos. Go to that video where Esther was locked up and Walungu was outside saying, Nshaye until you release my wife. Esther was released that night. When you see Esther coming out, Esther, you don't have English, mattress. Mattress here new na bed na pillow. When she was coming out, she came with the mattress and the pillow. Baalisengera okufunya mu sales. Balungu baisayimira bati imunge vumulete ndabwekeshe mu bakana. Balikana. And I was like, this woman. Now, this is a former first lady. Baya ingira mu sales. Baba letera mattress. Dilabane fuma, bafuma na mattress. Kwaliba. Imwe. So I've seen her. Even the issue of selecting these presidents. Even the issue of selecting these presidents. I've been saying Balungu didn't want to become president. Balungu balekana. Somehow he was convinced from the bedroom. He came down and said, no, ndefo Kuba. Somehow. So I strongly believe the combat Vaesta and Shabapata, if anything, Vaesta was even more generous than Walungu. But she's a politician in her own right. And there were times reading about it under Vaesta, I was even, I'm telling you, there were times because we used to engage. And I was like, And don't think that Vaesta Vali, she's sharp, that woman. She's very sharp. Abantu bala bachitanda retu bali abamayo bali sharp ndenyewa. She's very sharp. Anyway, to cut the long story short, all I'm telling you is that Vaesta eva ikata ichitumbi cha Walungu na makebizulu. I don't believe that Tasila is part of this. I don't believe Tasila is part of this. I know Tasila. I used to talk to Tasila. She has got a soft heart. So, there are those women that you can feel. She's got a soft heart. She has even been manipulated, Tasila. She has even been manipulated, Tasila. Tasila has been manipulated. I mean, even the issue. Anyway, let me not go personal. Tasila has been manipulated big time. Even in a personal life, some of a guy who went after Tasila, who managed Tasila. Now, what's going on? I'm sure Tasila, don't ever last night, but finish your career and doing. No, I'm not talking about Tumai Chemulenga. No. I'm not talking about Patrick. You're a good guy. But anyway, let me not go there. She's a married woman. Let me not go there. But the only thing I'm telling you is that Tasila, alikuwa soft. Alikuwa soft, alikuwa mtima. Alikuwa mtima. Kwati ni Walungu. So I don't believe the character of Tasila would stay 8 months. No, we will not ban. It's not possible. Tasila ukumuleta paso. Ukumuleta pa. 2 minutes. Ukulanda pa chitumbi that she would break down. I can tell you that. Tasila ukumuleta paso. 2 minutes. Let's discuss Pachitum Beach. She can't discuss it. She would start crying. She would break down. But Vamayo Esther. How she would take you on? Who are they? Yui. Gamadimu Pishamino Vino. Akuchamiro. You remember that Yui? Oh, Mwansa, sorry, yes. Yui was the man who was going and whatever. Yui was in charge of that case. Yui knows by Esther. That's why you have a long sales. Murema sales kubalonga tekwati it was about Lungu. It is because of the stubbornness. Bali sana kawaka pokola vera mayaba. Bachiramu. Bala imona. That's how wabalongere. Ni stubbornness. Pala ponsi pala mone. Even wakapokola. No. That situation wouldn't have been the way it went had it not been for the stubbornnness of Yawa Esther. Balawaka pokola mwa mwene, cutting the gate. It is because of the stubbornness of Yawa Esther. Baka pokola, they tried to reason with her. Imo bawo shishenifye, shana. Kwisa, bali kana. Bale dama kola uti, mwelete moto, bakana. Ifo baka pokola nomba bafuliro nomba. Eri mwa mwene kulia. Bambo kola teta. Bali shupa wa Esther imweleke ni miewe. Bali shupa. Munga ndamulia. Kwisa. Na Aisha na bebe rom nikish. Bali umafi ba elo ine. I mean nabe nefe kutiba landa. Ine, I was not hiding. I used to tell them, this case doesn't look good. Stenifi, why can't we compromise? Kuti, banipera ndalama, nisema compromise, kuti, baona munga, you know? She kept on carrying herself like she's the first lady already. She kept on carrying herself as she's the first lady. And yet power had gone. So if there is somebody that really missed State House more than anybody, Niwa Esther. If there is anybody who wants power more than anybody, Niwa Esther. And Niwaisa kumana na Makebi Zulu, because Makebi Zulu is another Noko engine. Ni cement na yena ule mumutu. Alikuwa cement imbimbi. So, balewa vini maja. Eva problem. And I'm sure Tasila, I can understand some situation ya kwa Tasila. Because Tasila, I mean, she's not the next of kin. She's the daughter, but she's not the next of kin. The one who has powers, Niwa Esther. But, under these circumstances, Tasila, we won't feel abantu ababalesa. Hey, no, hey, you are betraying your father. Your father wouldn't have allowed this situation to be where it is. There are people who are benefiting out of this situation. Makebi Zulu is a nobody. Without Ichitumbi. Makebi Zulu has risen as a politician, which is not. He's not. Makebi Zulu is not a politician. But he has risen as a politician because of Ichitumbi. Fumiani po Ichitumbi pani Makebi Zulu. Fish fiala shalap. Fumiani po Ichitumbi pani Makebi Zulu. Mufumia po Ichitumbi. Chava lungu. Ndama fumia po Ichitumbi. Fish fiala shalap pani Makebi Zulu. Fish fiala shalap. Tapali na kaptura wamu katika pali. If you are Makebi tapali. Tapali of what Tapali is nobody without Chitumbi. The only thing that sustains Makebi, Chitumbi. That's all. Ichitumbi, that's what sustains Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu is a failure. When he tried Kuma politics, he failed. He was given a constituency, Malambo constituency. He failed badly. He was given a minister. He failed badly. And if you look at the elections, Okoba Lungu Balushide, Kulaku Eastern Province, Ekwa di Makebi Zulu. But that is where Balungu failed badly. He failed. In terms of when you consider strongholds, among the strongholds of the PF, Eastern Province was one of the strongholds, but was the least in terms of performance. And Makebi Zulu was there. So what can you tell me about Makebi Zulu to say Makebi Zulu have a political giant? Imo political giant Chitumbi. Mwandu wa Chitumbi, not kwa ule Chitumbi, tapata fomu njanje wapani Makebi Zulu. Na mwewa sawaida imoba kwini mpumi, na kakeneka chair. I mean, your candidate is finished. Your candidate is ali bola. Politically, tetulie, nga chakulia tetimuchilie. Nga wowa kutumwa watifia na fiavene. You can't eat Makebi Zulu. Politically, you can't. He failed constituency. He failed as a minister. He even caused Lungu to fail, because if Makebi Zulu was effective, in Eastern Province, Lungu would have had votes. But he didn't have votes. He made Lungu lose. But yo, Makebi Zulu. What is Makebi Zulu? But he's causing even you, Tasila, to fail. And the other point, you know that there are some children of Balungu who wanted to compromise Nailama cases. But I know that they were children of Balungu who said, you know what, with these cases, let the government just let them get everything. We will live our lives. We will build from zero. We will start from zero. They were children of Balungu who did that. They were children of Balungu who did that. Makebi Zulu advised them against. Makebi Zulu said, no, you cannot. But they were. Even, for example, Dariso. You have seen Dariso doesn't make statements and whatever. Even when they were making funny statements, Dariso came up and issued a statement through his lawyer, Bachangano. Bachangano has been a very good lawyer for those people. Bachangano has been a very good lawyer. If only Bachangano was in charge of these things, things would have been different. But Babika Koma Makebi. So they can hear Makebi is useless. Anyway, all I was just trying to tell you is that those of you who are talking about what is this, Tasila Lungu being vice president of whatever, I say, yeah, it can be a very good force. The problem is, there is Makebi, there is Vanina. The problem is, Tasila herself, you know, I know it is difficult. She can't come out and say, no, I'm not part of this. I know it is very difficult. I know. But somewhere, somehow, there are times when you have to bite a bullet. There are times when you have to bite a bullet. There are times when you have to bite a bullet. There are times when you have to bite a bullet and, you know, put things in order. Put things in order. Because your life, Tasila, Nabambi. As long as your life is on standstill. Your life is on standstill. Your life and your siblings is on standstill. Family Yabalungu, some of these, like that girl, she's a lawyer. She was just recently admitted to the bar. She's supposed to be getting experience. She's supposed to be doing her thing. Some of them are business people. You know, Dariso himself is a businessman, you know, but once again, life is on standstill because of Ichitumbi. Because of Ichitumbi. If only you let go of that thing, you can still negotiate with this Hakainde Hichilema. You can still negotiate. Some people are saying, hey, you are telling these people to negotiate. What about why don't you negotiate? I'm not a son of a president. Those are children of a former president. They can negotiate. Anytime they can knock on the door of government. Anytime you can knock on the door of government, you can knock on the door of Hakainde Hichilema, and they will hear you. They will hear you. Your father was being manipulated when he was alive. He is being manipulated Muchitumbi. And you are still alive. Now, what kind of children are you? What kind of children are you who cannot stand for your father? You will know very well that what is happening there, it is not the wish of your father. Your father was not like that. I know Balungu had his own weaknesses, but I know for sure that Balungu would have compromised. I've shown you examples of where Balungu compromised. If he compromised in those circumstances, why wouldn't he compromise in this situation? He would have compromised. But he's gone. It remains to you, the children, to stand up against Malukula, and even Iva Esther. Stubborn, she's very stubborn, I know. But she's very intelligent. If you press the right buttons, you can get to her. You can get to her. So, I've given you my honest views. And those of you are saying, no, Tasila, you are betraying your father. You are betraying your father by being quiet. You are betraying your father by keeping your father Muchitumbi 8 months. Now 1 year ika kwane. Balungu bali mfridge. Anyway, I think nasaba ila sana kuti muambo kutuma mafoni nomba ndeasha foni hii kuti muambo kutuma mafoni nomba na imumlandepo. Where is my speaker? Oops. But precious that you don't have wisdom, this is why you can't see. Inapondanda. Ishipusa sana. Efondanda. Ishipusa sana. Ishipusa sana. Nangu hawa mpata. Bampata fipa kwa tindela ndefishinga. Bampata kwa tawe ifalanda fishinga. But really, she survive. Yeah, to have a password. Yeah. Password to weekend ni sentence. Phone yakwa tuletina tinga wakukamata vena yui. Taurefwe nkama shisokoloke. Pantu nkama shenana alikwata. And I'm a very loyal guy. Very, very loyal guy. Very loyal. Not nef musawa ira chanchana awe. I'm very loyal. Just that, you know, ngatamusa nderebu, what can I do? So papa inapa. Waka indechile manga wankana kutina chitashani. Waka indechile manga wankana kutina chitashani. Hawe ineta pale kwa ningaya mfiabu fifidia. Fiabu fi. Ma politics okay. Kulika voice mataka.
Mwishani mwafu wena Chilufya Tayali. Mwitule miumfa mwitwali ile nuku bomboko.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Tayali.
JJ, uli bwanji?
Nilibwena uli bwanji.
Wanichererera?
Na kuchererera sinma mbera mushene kairi ngati muishita mislead wantu.
So pamene nakamba panachita mislead wantu pati. Pamene nakamiuza kuti imwe musunga chitumbi kuja, you know, you have made life yave na tasira to be on a standstill. Mufuna tasira bwere nkani vice president, but mumangirira watate wake mumochari. Instead ya kuti muchite negotiate na government, wena tasira wabwere muziko, they continue with their life. How am I misleading people there? Tell me.
Yes, Mr. Tayali. Let me ask you. My president won't say vana favali spy. Tell me, president, wamene sina pelekeko body kumunzi kwao. Niuze ni watayari.
Wamene sina pelekeko body kumunzi kwao. Sata unampelekako kumunzi kwao. Sata unampelekako kumunzi kwao. Niuze
kumunzi. Enda body kumuchinga. Kumchinga inaenda nando kita body viewing kumchinga.
Iwe. Neko kusawaira. Neko kusawaira.
Nijetu kambevazo ona tayari.
Neko kusawaira. Neko kusawaira.
Once ma presidenti. Vera kanikuze. Once ma presidenti mabodi yao yanaenda mu ma provinces yanapita kankala kaunda each and every province inaenda body. But imwe UPND government yako tayari yale sawarungu kuti wakapeleke body ku Eastern ku Copper Belt wanalesa body viewing wanalesa futi wanagamba hii itaende kunyumba kwao manye ni kuti malilo yaso
jeje
so tayari mvera wanalesa hii wanapeleka issue ku koti ni wa UPND wamene supporter so don't involve the family.
Okay, mvera
is it the family who went to court?
Okay, mvera reka nikufunze hapa so imwe mwezefuna kuti mubarinye ku South Africa, so ku South Africa ndiye kumuzi kwa walungu
ku South Africa siku munzi kwa walungu but situation ya mene nzofuna ba UPND kuti wanyi wakae walese kuti kumunzi
jeje ukamba vakumunzi ukamba vakumunzi so ine nakufunsa ku South Africa ndiye kumunzi kwa walungu ndiye kumunzi kwa walungu. Okay mvera mvera templo so ngati mwabaringa ku South Africa mufuna mubaringe ku South Africa then mukawina then mukabweze mu Zambia simwamene. So manje imwe ngati muli na nzeru simfu mukambati bantu baku Eastern Province ndimwe banzeru why simunavomere kuti chitumbi chabwera mu Zambia mwabaringa pa embassy paja mwabanyengerera wa government after mwatenga power then mwapeleka manje kuchanchani kuchoka mwamene mwenzo funina because you are supposed to exhume the body from South Africa, so why not exhume the body from embassy park then mwachipeleka uko kwa mene ngati mufuna because ni kwa mene mufuna ati mubaringa ku South Africa then mukawina mukabwerese chitumbi mu Zambia, so why not bring chitumbi mu Zambia mwabaringa mu Zambia mukawina then mwambochipeleka ngati mufuna mwebene.
Okay, Tayali, let me tell you, you are an African, Tayali. You know, even in Congo, what happened in Congo to the father to Tshisekedi? What happened, Tayali? Because the father to Tshisekedi also died in Belgium, but there was also an impasse. Then from there, Tshisekedi stood as the president whilst the body was still in Belgium. They won after winning change of government. That body came back now in Congo. Washika bwino ku Congo because ngati wapesika bantu bali stubborn. Wamene wafuno shika muntu monga ni prisoner. Tayari even you where you are there as a olonagulisa kidini utakuwa kuleta maliro yako wabwera. Are you sure tayari wangakubaringe without your family kuziva, without your family kuona pamene bakumba mgodi wako tayari?
Anyway, jeje leka nitengeko venangu ziko mokwambiri.
Yeah, but manje tikuuza manje stop misleading the people and wanaleta kuti ECL body kuti kibaringe ni wa UPND which you are supporting.
Yeah.
Ine kungalangu ye wako kungala chifi wako iwe kapaso wanga sindaka kuvomereza yotuchite uyo upua wako.
Zikomo na mvera zikomo. Na mvera zikomo bai enda. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Precious, my precious.
Yes, I just want to talk on the part where you were talking about your Makedi Zulu. Mr. Tayali, no one is refusing you to support Hakainde Hichilema, but it's not right to disrespect your friend in that manner.
Iwe Vera, iwe precious. Iwe na iwe, no such. Let me talk. First, Vamene nakamba disrespecting. Where have I disrespected him? Si another member of parliament, si another minister. Didn't he fail?
Why should you mention to say that Alibena Kabudura Kamkat? Can you talk like that?
Unakona naye kuti uzive ati kabudura linake. Unakona naye kuti uzive ati kabudura alinako. Unakona naye.
But why do you always talk like someone who don't reason? Why are you asking me such useless questions? You don't know that every man has a pants. You don't know. So yourself you don't have a pants.
You were very kusoma bala tumabudura si uziva hivi. Vera kusoma bala tumakabudura. Ukamucheki magebi. Iwe. That is that's
like that because you hate him. Why do you hate him so much?
Iwe, forget makabudura. Talk substance. Iwe, talk substance. My politics chap. It's a way of talking. Iwarako.
But not in that manner. So now, let me come back to the issues affecting the nation. I heard you talking about Honorable Tasila. I want you to know that Honorable Tasila, she's not a useless woman. She's a woman who respects the mother and also the father. And Honorable Tasila cannot betray the father. Why am I saying so? She's the one who knows what they are doing, and what they are doing is the right thing. By not barring ECL until we get the justice that it deserves. ECL wishes means well. Every time we tell you that. So I don't even know the reason why you always complain about it. The family, they don't complain. The sister, she's not complaining. Everyone is not complaining. Even white leaders and concerned citizens, those who respected democracy, they are not complaining. They support Wamakebi Zulu because what Wamakebi Zulu is doing what is right. That one is the one who even loves Balungu. He cannot betray him, even in his days. But these others, they keep on pretending like they are with Balungu, but they are not. The truth is, Honorable Tasila, she cannot disrespect the father, she cannot betray the father, not even in his days. So let us all support Wamakebi Zulu, not you, I'm not saying you, I'm telling you, Green family, all of you Green family, please don't listen to whatever Mr. Tayali is saying. No one is disrespecting Balungu. Balungu is being respected by respecting his wishes. So thank you very much.
Thank you, precious. Hello? 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 Precious akanipa maningi atina kambati Makebi Zulu alibeka Abdullah kamkati.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. Yes, Mr. Tayali. Nice to make up wa Makebi wa Menia. For me, I think the problem now, especially in opposition, aliwonse afuna kamba pali wa ECL. Aliwonse afuna kamba wa ECL wananuza hivi. Na mina ngaza kamba wa ECL wananuza hivi. They're not coming up with their CVs so that we can see, okay, what did this guy do when he was maybe a minister, when he was an MP, what did they do so that they can show us, okay, this is my CV. Nefuna muni voted kwa H9. But aliwonse Makebi Zulu anaenda ku South Africa because asunga chitumbi kambana wa Esther vina baganza wenye nikaenda I'm going to be appointed as the president. But chamne senze kuzira hivi Makebi Zulu nchapti wali bantu ambili bali selfish MPF munga hivi mwana ka this chamne senze baganza mngata olubaenda convention ngamsanke because kule chimba kambwilo noganza this guy he has just come because he married and then againza mngati ngamuyi angawina the presidency kuli bantu wenango mungane given winda mngaganza for me I've been the president for a long time Makebi Zulu tanga bwe Because at the moment, Makibi Zulu is just a frustrated person. He's different from the way he behaved when he just came from South Africa. Namanja, because they have a manja is a game, we have course, and your course again. When the Munduwi and I have Waidiga Lungu appointed me to this position, and I'm legally, occupying this president as the Tonsi Alliance chairman because they have Waidiga Lungu. I don't want to say Chiafunga can be part of Waidiga Lungu. For me, I feel like until they stop talking about Waidiga Lungu, and then they come up with the convention or maybe a conference on merit, maybe they can move forward, but not hysteria. Never, ACA. I think it's a course.
No, Zikom, mwana, Zikom. Hello? 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 Yeah. Niokosa Kendulo, Niokosa Kendulo. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. If you can try to speak up so that people can hear you.
Okay. This is Monga speaking from Osaka.
Yes, Mr. Monga.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are. Very.
Okay, thank you. Never mind about pressures concerning Kabudura. I know that it was just a way of talking about politics anyway. Yeah. I just want to talk about Makebi Zulu for you. I don't know who is busy giving an advice to Makebi Zulu to say that you are a politician. Makebi Zulu is not a politician. He's a lawyer. He's not a politician. When it comes to law, anyway, he's a good lawyer. So now, Makebi Zulu was given Eastern Province. What did he do? He failed. He was given a loom called Malambo constituency. He failed. Now in his mind, he thinks that he can lead Zambian people. How many are we in Zambia? The population of Zambia is more than 20 million. So he thinks he can lure us. Meanwhile, he failed there in Eastern Province and the Malambo constituency. We just want to advise him to focus doing law, not politics. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Hello?
Hello, Chilufya Tayali.
Yes. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. This is Misha. I'm calling from Deke Township here in Dora. And just a quick one. On the 23rd December 2025, that is last year, the South African Supreme Court gave the Lungu family a go-ahead to lodge in an appeal over the repatriation of Edgar Lungu. Now, according to the statement that I read from the Attorney General Kale Shamleya, he said, and I quote him, that he has not yet officially received an official appeal from the Lungu family so that the government can prepare themselves to go and defend themselves in the South African Supreme Court. And according to Kabesha, he said, if they do not lodge in an appeal by 11th February 2026, it means the Lungu would have lost an opportunity to make an appeal, okay? Now, in this case, if they do not make an appeal, does it mean that the South African court will give an order to the Lungu family to repatriate the body to South Africa? I want a clarification on that one. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Yeah, Mr. Tayali. My kind of bakaram.
Wina favored.
Bakaram. I always say, and I salute you. Do you know that if there is someone in Zambia who can salute you about politics, it's me. More politics than all from there. Number one, I like the way you started. Kulanda, Shaba, that before start Kulanda, that was the true Tayari. You know Tayari. I want to Tabari, but Filaba Kun for Pitamu. I want to, or I was support. But you are there to say, you are now a slave. But you are stable, because you know, I mean, if you don't know, I gave a paso. Even our president, that paso, whatever support. But it's like story to say this. Now, she's not from Brera. Tell me about me. Tabale Kumfa or Tabale support at the church never to move to you. Now, bomba. You know that even me, you wouldn't get like Nambo support about UPND. Because UPND is right in mind, but because of what you are speaking, whatever, that's that one book up the UPND. Because that is what for now. What are the support now buyer? Because she and the other one to the Monegati, Kuchai. But for what I think it is by and it's true. But again, I like those who are stamp on the tired. If I want to talk about things, okay, touching the way you send to more. Like for me, you only know proper instruments in the general. Once I like Abashanya, who is this one? Baba is one way, that one is the but you know that tired. Our opposition is one way. The person you have a from oh, Gavad don't talk in this Vasa. Tayari too much telephone. Wanted to have no papa into our teacher and the quarter of the university in but please, look at the land of him that. Please, I want to. But soon we will raise this up to because I want to raise this up to I want to raise this up to into the person like a no. Then the last one, Tayari in the land of you know, I think you for me, who can feel a question to that. Just to buy it, you feel it for the thing about if you look for sorry to say this, one see the one of your woman. Tell your voice, one more
Na totela munena totela, at least you give me counsel, at least it shows that kula aba monat yo Ndesha, I try my best. But there's so many ishiva at the end of the day, you know. There's so many ishiva. When a door doesn't open, just know the door that you are looking at. If it doesn't open, just know that there is the door where you're supposed to go in is somewhere else. That's what I believe in. If the door you are knocking, the door doesn't open, just know that the door which is open for you is not that one. Just look around, you will see it. I strongly believe in that, and I look up to God. God is the one who knows better.
Better. And you know what? I like the way you handle things with God. You know, believe and continue trusting God. Do you know that only God can help you, my brother?
basi pale pacharo twaba ma politics wa politics iwe enchito nyobe wala kutoboshana ingaliro mo ingasabaila amja talento mo ya tsama graba ta pana vera dati mo ya talento to kuntita perita talento ndi o wala tu wala bushte
imagine
iwe pasando bisha no pero pasando me bonde kweo esto capítulo la pantalla but ahora toda esta tapi papa kudita ile mtu like bamundilia amundilia tena bali kete baita la topi katari tenika mwezo wabula teninda 10% ya sala ya whatever na mponse de kuita yake amundilia pale wa mwekweba okay dawa itakuwa watu kwa sababu basi talanta ina porque yo vine de talanta shira pero kala ndako na kwero kala kwero kwa kujani bachota continue ndala kosa kupakanwa na baba yo ayoku it's okay it was long as it was expected to aspire this talanta ya kutanwa ndio mtaka kuipiga kutanwa
na totera mundi I like that guy. He's very realistic. But anyway, there is a point that somebody has raised. Somebody has raised, Miji has raised a very important point, which I want to respond to. Hello?
hello
Hello?
hello
Yes.
yes you are good.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
Okay, so nasafo kulanda kope pali nani kani pali issue yawe na tasira issue yawe na tasira yene angefinika tsara ndo mdara bubati mumkulanda ukareke fyo kulanda pomwandi kozi oambiro kulanda tabakutali respond so beta wakompanya kulanda pali washati pali wa UPND wamona wali napo kupera matu aipi tayo mkuita so it's better wakonkanya kulanda pali washati pali wa UPND so naisa kunomona kuli wa opposition opposition wena ubareke mpe barerwe fine barerwa bakasuka bakatishani bakasanga omuntu kamoneka wakusapota so even inakupera example even ba UPND evyo mwene nati tabarerwa mulando wakwe bacha mulando wakwe bati nabakwata president uleteka palirucha so lolera 2031 ngaisa skati vaechechi varefu mapota varimaka ero kamona maturu kara zava vashani ava mu UPND
na mumwina mu UPND taumwena china kufuma jito ko jito ale ichita ulamona jito fo aishtisha
ali amba to
ali amba
George Mutonga
basia wanu bali nu
Mutonga to ali mona
basia wanu bali nu ukupanga nani kane ukupanga jito balefwa nomba jito esa achirira bakalamba bena ntwani kana avena Jack Mwimbu achirira avena Mwetwa avena Gari Nkombo abapite esa ave kuntanji Fimwe that's why mwandini ne mukampata fia ine mwandini mwe
so ba opposition bena reka tupone po opposition uke safuma pa 2026 nangu tapali upitire batena kesa mune kavyati asogoro kanyu
nishi mundu be nishi mundu be
mu UPND mu 2031 nishi ngatakwa chapo se shako fya mano aishifane vya kongora ba eke saban chance ya
nishi mundu be imweta musuminemo
mundubire awe ikweta twabara mundubira pavesi twave
ningumfwa imwe formula ndene ndeshi bama politics kana liyeshi basada fera fine ndemo na jito kuti abepa abantu bambya ati yo ale supporta ba president jito ale supporta so na imwe pamula ndate ni mimono ko bati na imwe na mkwata omule supporta so la ndeni fendani mule supporta
ino muntu nde supporta
muntu ndezapota given vi.
Mamona na chishiva. Ama politics na lieshiva sana na ama politics au na kokolamo. Mune support given now akumusupporteni mwandini. Akumusupporteni and tumona okofidea. Ine nakula tambako ngefine mune njebati. Ule tambako fe. Yo nakula tambako na totera munu Mabani.
Natasha Chilufya Tayali.
Mkwai. You see, one thing with me is that this political matrix, nalia pitamo sana, So ndamo shabuno kubavu muntu kutalifo kutalinamo na choko alea nyuku. Because ama politics sometimes we are not straight, we are not direct. You know? Ule pishishomu, but fila moneka. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Am I online?
Yes, you are indeed. I almost thought it was Precious who has come back.
Oh my God, I sound like her.
No. Now you don't sound like her. Now you sound like, like it's you. Go ahead.
Don't tell me I sound like Precious. No way. I fight with Precious all the time, so don't look at me. I sound like Precious. Oh my God.
Akasunguka ivera iwe. Akasunguka ivera. Kadi refined. Kadi kufuta kwati ni breakfast. Kwati munga watute.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay. What about this narrative? Sometimes so inga ife at all va esta nangwe niba abaire ku South Africa wonse abana bakashi basista banani tabachi mwene kwechitumbe kubaire. That's one. Secondly, yeah, story asinati any drug deal they wrong where he owed $50 million, $50 million. Deal with you. I'm
liking your English. I'm liking your English. Please speak that English so that you know you can. Please speak English.
I'm practicing my Bemba.
Yes.
Practicing my Bemba right here.
No. I want you to speak that English. Ndefwa nde umfawino ngolela ndeke sunu. Nde umfawino wanakiana balala, so it's okay. Please,
You know, that's my thing now, right here.
Okay,
you know?
Go ahead.
Okay, so your story activity, you know, the deal went wrong, and then our deal body for $50 million. They could be the people holding on Ichtumbi. You may think about Esther, you may think about Ishika or Ishtashani. Those people will be holding on the body. He has no shares, no powers. You know, that kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking.
So now listen, my dear. My dear. I mean, your English.
I've got two. Before you respond, I've got two. Before you respond, and then the other thing is, what if we just left Arak Tumbi, Esther? What if we left them with the body? What would happen? I know he was the leader of the country. I know he was our president. But what if Tuanaka, we leave everything to them? Let them do whatever they feel like doing with the body. What would happen?
Yeah. So now, listen, stay on the line because I don't want, because when you cut, you know, then I would have to, I'll be distracted by other phone calls coming in. So the first thing is that those speculations, I want to tell you outrightly that those speculations are not true. they are not true.
Okay.
One, for example, there is a narrative that no, Walungu maybe is not dead. Okay, maybe he's somewhere. No, I don't believe that. And why I don't believe that is that I followed, Walungu's ailment and how everything was going on from Balungu Avene, from other people. And before all this happened, there was no indication whatsoever to say, they are planning this. No, it was just a normal situation where somebody's sick, okay, let's try this. Even when he died, it was after an operation. After they tried this, they tried this, then they said, you know what? I mean, that operation actually was supposed to be done a long time in 2017. In 2017 when he was still president. But then they feared the danger, the risk of carrying that operation. But then eventually, Avenue decided, you know what? I mean, let's just get on with this. Okay? If this is the only thing that can give me life, okay, it's a 50-50 situation. Let's go with it. Unfortunately, it didn't help out. It turned out the worst. So for me, I followed. Yeah. And even when Walungu died, I knew about his death way before it was even announced. And there were now these negotiations of what should we do? Should we tell government? Should we continue saying Walungu is alive? We embalmed the body for 2 years. There were people who were suggesting that we embalmed the body for 2 years because there is no successor. They wanted to release some statements in the name of Walungu. Okay? Meanwhile, Walungu Nishi, Balifwa. But they wanted to push that agenda. And myself, I started arguing with people before even Tasila had announced. I said, no, you can't do that. And finally, I insisted myself, before I insisted to say, let them tell government. But instead of telling government, they went now and told Tasila to announce. You see? So, anyway, the whole point I'm trying to say is that, I am privileged. I have not seen the body, yes. I haven't seen the body. But from where I am, I was interacting with people, and all the machinations which were going on, I knew about them. And if you follow my first broadcast immediately after Tasila announced, because I couldn't go live before Tasila went live. Okay? So after the official announcement, my first broadcast was that let us not do politics over this. Because if we do politics over this, I will also go political. In other words, I was telling them, I was warning them that if you do I will expose you. And that is how I exposed them, and I've been talking about this Makebi Zulu because Makebi Zulu was at the center of all the nonsense that was going on. Now, you have gone, so the first part of it is that Walungu, from my perspective, I have no doubt Walungu is dead. I have no doubt. And then to say, no, the family has not seen the body. No, the family have seen the body. Even Makebi Zulu, I mean, I can doubt Makebi Zulu on so many things, but I don't doubt Makebi Zulu when he says he has seen the body. I don't doubt him on that, So on that one, we need to close that chapter. Walungu is dead, is dead, is dead. That is one. Then number two, you are saying, why don't we just let them be? I mean, he is a former head of state. We are tired with this and whatever. It's true. From a layman's point of view, we can look at things in a simplistic manner like that. Okay? There are certain things that are very important when you talk about the statecraft, the state, so to say. When you talk about the state, for example, a flag. I mean, somebody will say, what is the flag? It is just a cloth, It is just a cloth. It doesn't mean anything. Okay? What about about the president, you know, the instrument of power. The instrument of power is not something magical or whatever. No, it is just a box. It is just symbolic. But it is so important that people can kill. You can be killed by the soldiers for you just to access that box. But it's just a box, you know what I mean? It is just a box.
Right.
Yeah, but if you were to go where it is, you were to fight to get it, they will kill you. People will die just to stop you from touching the box, you know, the instrument of power, so to say.
Right.
If you go to the speaker, there is that thing, the speakers, whatever, what do they call it? That chinkonto, that thing. I mean, you can't go and touch that, but it is just whatever. So, similarly, even on this one, that man is a former head of state. He's a former head of state. And all those who have been heads of state, they never cease to be part of government. They form part of our state. That is why even afterwards, they continue receiving salaries. They continue being given security. Because they are part of the state. They are part of our souvenirs. The broken hue, somebody today was talking about broken hue. It is just a scar. I mean, it is long gone, you know. But look at how some of these things are kept well, you know. And you die if you attempt to meddle with them. So it's the same thing with Balungu. Balungu is a former head of state, but he is beyond being a husband to Esther. He is beyond being a father to Tasila and his siblings. He's beyond that. He is part of our state symbols. Our state symbols. When you're talking about former head of state, number one is here. Number two, that's why we even have that embassy park. So from a layman's point of view, you can look at it very simplistic. But like I've told you, we have got state instruments, and those state instruments are supposed to be protected and fought for very hard. And this is why I agree with Hakainde Hichilema that they have been fighting to make sure that that body comes to Zambia. And definitely it will come back to Zambia. I hope through you I've been able to respond to others as well.
No, you did good. You did good. Yeah, so we'll be waiting for the 11th of February, as the other person, the last caller had mentioned, that the 11th of February, the South African government will do that.
Now, listen, again, I will abuse you since I'm running short of women calling, so I will take advantage of you again to explain about what Miji said. You know, Miji is a man, and even his voice is not even as sweet as yours. So it is difficult to explain, but I can explain. So now, on what Bakawesha said. Bakawesha said, first of all, let me start with to say, there was an appeal, okay? There was an appeal which they wanted. They put a notice of appeal that we want to appeal, a notice of appeal, or they asked permission to say, we don't agree with the ruling here. We don't agree. We want to appeal. We want to take it to a higher court so that maybe others can look at it differently. The high court refused to say, no, nobody can look at this in any different way. So they took that appeal now to a higher court. And the higher court finally said, yeah, you can appeal, meaning to say, yes, you can take it to a higher court so that maybe somebody can look at it differently. Right. Now, so that was successful, meaning a notice of appeal has now been granted. Permission has been granted. Okay? Now, so now there is after the permission has been granted, now you have to bring in your case, your grounds of appeal. Okay? You have to bring in your grounds of appeal to say, I'm appealing on you erred, the judge erred on 1, 2, 3, 4 points. I don't agree with this. He should have said this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you push in that, those are submissions. That is what Bakawesha is talking about. To say they have not pushed in submissions. Submissions are the grounds of appeal. Grounds of appeal. And they have up to 11th February. They have up to 11th February to push in the grounds of appeal. Why they are appealing? They have up to 11th. After, when they file in the grounds of appeal, then the state will respond to say, on ground number 1, they are saying no, they are saying that the court agreed with them that Edgar Lungu is a former head of state, therefore public interest prevails. They have refused, but we still maintain that no, this was a right judgment. So the state, in other words, will have to respond. So they will push in submissions.
Right.
Submissions are the grounds of appeal. After that, the state will respond, a rebuttal. After a rebuttal, if they have something else to say, the appellants, they will push in. So 11th of February is not really a date that we should wait for. Okay? It is because it's not a hearing. It's not a hearing. It is simply them throwing in grounds, and then the state will respond. But eventually, they will come up with a date now when they will go and argue it in court. So that is the status, and I hope Miji has also understood. That is what Wakabesha said, that they have not submitted, meaning they have not given grounds of appeal. But those grounds of appeal, they have up to 11th February. Maybe by now they have done it, or sometimes they can even do, sometimes for a technical reason, sometimes they will even file even on the 11th itself, to delay, to buy time. Because if they file it on the 11th, it means, they are buying time for those guys to receive and then respond, because the strategy which is also there by Makebi, they want to protract this case until the elections. They don't want this case to end before the elections. They don't want this case to end before the elections. They want this case to go after the elections. Because if it finishes now, then what manifesto do they have? What do they have to talk about? They will have nothing. So Makebi Zulu doesn't want this case to end now. That's why Makebi Zulu is not filing those submissions. He's buying time. I'm sure he will file in at the last minute to buy time, because if the case finishes fast, Makebi Zulu's political career will end.
That will be the end, yes.
Yeah.
That will be the end.
Makebi Zulu wants to ashika, Makebi Zulu ninchi, chapwa, manifesto takwa ete, Makebi Zulu, takwa ta manifesto. Makebi Zulu's relevance chitumbi. Songa to ashike chitumbi, nishipafita. Once, if it were given Luvinda, nishipafita, because ndatuashika Luvinda, he's still masquerading. I'm the president. I was appointed by Chitumbi. Ndatuashika nishipafita. So they don't want this case to end before the elections. But from the way I see it, it will end before the elections. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I have a feeling too. I have a feeling it will end before the elections.
No, thank you very much. I mean,
thank you so much.
No, you have got a very sweet voice. If I were in Zambia, I would have asked for your number so that tomorrow I can come and visit you. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah. So I took advantage of that situation to explain. I hope you have followed. As far as I'm concerned, Balungu is dead. Hello? Yes.
Mwakombe.
Mkwema wombeni.
Mkwe. Yama. Na wewe never Makebi Zulu na Boa Chito. They're also Zambians just like you. They're young Zambians.
Yes, they are Zambians. First before Tamula Tampo Kulanda. I mean, when you want to argue logically. I've not said Makebi Zulu is not a Zambian. I've not said Jito is not a Zambian. I am simply saying when you want to aspire for presidency, there must be relevancy. There must be relevance, there must be context. Now, when you talk about him, so I want you to engage me on the issues that I'm talking about. Not you bringing in issues which I haven't brought. On Makebi, I'm telling you that he's a failure. He was given a position as a member of parliament. He was given as minister. He failed. On Jito, he is supposed to be in the president's office. He's supposed to be promoting the presidency. But subtly is chipping in an agenda to promote himself. And I have got an issue there. Because my focus now, we're supposed to be promoting Hakainde Hichilema. Nobody else. Nobody else. Even me. I cannot come here and start campaigning. I know I'm supposed to support, to talk about Hakainde Hichilema, promote Hakainde Hichilema. Time to bring ourselves will come. Those are my issues. So if you want to respond on those issues.
I very well understand your point, of which it calls for integrity. That's integrity, loyalty, actually, what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when I'm apprenticeship, maybe when I say apprentice, he was maybe trying to learn something from Valung. Then you are Jito, now he's learning from Hakainde, and maybe he's getting himself ready. And I don't see anything wrong in him being overly ambitious. Some of these people are ambitious just like you.
Yeah, listen.
Someday, maybe Mugawa president.
Listen.
Especially in
a politician. So let me tell you, you are saying, and I mean, there is nothing wrong. Yeah, surely they can all aspire. But you see, don't take advantage of the position that you have been given to push in your personal agendas. Because if all of us were going to do that, then we will not go anywhere. If people in UPND are also, Mwetwana Ena is an information minister, by the way. He's information minister. If all the time Mwetwa comes up now ambo kula vikamo utuakwe. Jack Mwimbo, I like Jack Mwimbo. Jack Mwimbo na ambo kula vikamo utuakwe. Where will government be? It will bring division. The government will not be able to function. I'm not supporting Hakainde Hichilema just for people to push their own agendas. I'm supporting Hakainde Hichilema so that we can move the country forward. And so, if we are going to be divided with some personal ambitions, I mean, we will not push the country forward. There will be a time when we can start marketing ourselves. You see? Then with Makebi Zulu, fine. He can be ambitious. Makebi Zulu has been ambitious for a long time. I know it. But you don't take advantage of Ichitumbi. That is wrong. That's what I'm basically saying.
Subjective, but Hakainde is way older than you and me. And you are an opinion leader. I'm sure he knows if Jito has other, sneaky or fishy ambition, he's way smarter than that. So if he has kept him, it means he knows what he's doing. Maybe another way to
but you also agree that Hakainde Hichilema, much as he is a president, he doesn't see everything. There are certain things that he learns from you and I. Program. Oh, yeah, can't you confide? He's not a superhuman. Hakainde Hichilema is not a superhuman. No one is superhuman. So sometimes, that's why we talk. We talk so that Hakainde Hichilema won't. And I mean, he may not act. We don't always think that Ngatualanda, Hakainde Hichilema will fire Jito. No. But at least he can pay attention and maybe cheat him to say, hey, Bwana, you are going to cause division. Even in State House, you know. So it is not to say Ngatualanda. Yeah, Ngatualanda, it's not. Ngatualanda, it's not that we are saying Hakainde Hichilema tawakwe tamano or Hakainde Hichilema is younger than us. Tulandira munsha yakwebati tuwachebushe, you know, so that he can look at it at a different perspective. And sometimes we are wrong. Sometimes we are also wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong myself, you know. I'm like that. I do accept sometimes that I'm wrong. You know, so I may be wrong on Jito. You know, the president might have a different perspective, but at least I should be able to express myself. You should be able to express yourself. Ngefine mulenje bati mule chefyanya fefya kulanda. No mbanga na chefyanya fefya kulanda. Ne muntu ne politician ni shifisha na kulachi.
Aba no teacher kulanda. Kwa katika watu nimpi muleshana, muleshashani wakati ngulanda ka this is not it for amia office of the president. Ukushana tamwaisha tama politics. Ama politics we bring him. When I move kavieni uko na when I move mise mtu batu kushana kwa lufyanya finish. Hello? Mwamba no kuleta mwana mwileta mwabana mulela fye no tukuleta mwabana no kutumpo ko wambo kulanda pabana nshifwaye. Hello?
President Tayali, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I sincerely appreciate your contribution, and I should make mention that we learned from you in a state that you come out in regards to dissemination of information that you give.
Thank you.
My take on that, first and foremost, I'm not here to attack you, but I would want maybe first to echo on one angle. You are bringing very vital information to the public of Zambia, and sometimes when you're bringing information, please don't be emotional. Bring your information very well, as you always do. Don't be emotional. People come and bring their own narratives on how they understand things, but please do not be drawn away from the focus that you have. I think that is my humble plea to you. Now, my point is, you've mentioned of Makebi Zulu, who you call Marukula. Makebi Zulu, perhaps you've been in an inner circle to understand the system on how the board was and the death of the former Sixth Republican of Zambia, Edgar Lungu, may he so rest in peace. But when we talk of the issues of the governance of, or rather, the ambition that Makebi has for president, and you attack him in the manner that you do, my question is, if the former head of state, Edgar Lungu, is barren, how is the ambition of Makebi Zulu going to die? I really want to understand much more on that one.
Okay, can you stay on the line so that I can explain that? First of all, about being emotions. First of all, about being emotions. You know, one thing that you also have to understand is that, you know, when I'm here, it is like I'm on a stage. For me to keep people glued for 1 hour, I must be artistic. I must be engaging. I must make you feel like I'm sitting with you in that living room. But nonetheless, I get your point. But coming to Makebi Zulu, how will Makebi Zulu's ambition die, you know, by the barrier of Edgar Lungu? No, it will not die. His ambition will not die. And the ambition of Makebi Zulu has not started with the death of Edgar Lungu. The ambition of Makebi Zulu started a long time ago. I know Makebi from a long time ago, from the time of Arabi. From the time of Arabi. Okay, that's when I knew Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu has been preparing himself, molding himself, you know, for that job. He has been wanting. He expressed it a long time. He may even himself might not even remember when he expressed it. And I saw that, oh, okay, so this guy also wants it. Nonetheless, so it will be there. The problem which is there now is that he's using Ichitumbi as a platform to springboard his ambition. And this is where we are differing. He's using Chitumbi to, you know, enhance his ambitions. And that is where we have differed. Makebi Zulu, I've got no problem with Makebi Zulu aspiring for presidency. I've never had. I've known, like I've told you, I've known for a long time. I've never had a problem with him aspiring for presidency. Where I didn't agree, it is the time when Lungu wanted to bring him as a candidate when he had failed. because he had an opportunity in Malambo. He had an opportunity as provincial minister, and he failed. And soon after failing, Balungu wanted me to start campaigning for him, and I refused. And from there, when now Balungu died, when I saw these machinations, I knew that Makebi Zulu is playing his cards to take advantage of the funeral, to sell himself. That is my problem.
Okay. No, I clearly understand on the trajectory that you have actually pointed out. I think one of the essence of coming on this live was to understand the often at times that you speak to say immediately that the body is put to rest. That would be the end of Honorable Given Luvinda as well as Makebi Zulu himself.
Yes.
So now that you have clearly, you've aired out on how these guys, their careers perhaps or their ambitions might end up once the body is gone. I have another question. You've also mentioned of Jito. When you look at Jito, I think, I don't know, if I'm wrong, please, I beg for your correction. One of the fundamental functions that this guy runs in the office of the president, I believe is a financial advisor to the president. Now, how is he making mistakes in a manner that you projected that he is actually not helping the president to do what he's supposed to do?
Yeah. So, Jito is an economic advisor to the president. Okay? Now, in the presidency, there are a number of offices, so to say, in the presidency. Okay? And each of them have got their role, which they play. The political advisor has got his role. The media director has got his role, and so on and so forth. Okay? And all of them, they can perform their substantive job descriptions. But all of them, they can support the president. That's fine. They can support or market the president. Okay? So, Jito has posed himself as what I can say, the image builder of the president. He has taken a position like an image builder of the president, which I have no problem with. But whatever message that you bring out, whatever message that you bring out, you have to, people will be able to see through. If you make a video, for example, you are talking about the president, but much of it is more about yourself. Even if you don't, explicitly bring out your name, but you put out feelers to show that the success of the president is owed to you. Okay? That because you are there, because whatever, even the videos, the videos, when we are doing the videos, there is a way that you do videos, to portray yourself. We can show that this person is not really, yes, he's trying to show that he's campaigning for the president, but it's for himself. It's for himself. For example, myself, I come here. Many people tell me that, hey, why don't you talk about your political party? Why don't you talk about your political party? Because I can't do that. I can't come here and start articulating, my manifesto, okay, the ideology of the party, and at the same time be talking about Hakainde Hichilema. That is conflict. That is conflict. And I am telling you, I'm challenging you, Jito. I know even me talking about him like this, I'm campaigning for him, but I think my message is clear. Go, take time, go on Jito's page and see how those messages are crafted. And I strongly believe that Jito has actually employed some serious media personnel, because you see the editing, you know, you see how those videos are edited, how they move from one incident to the other. You see that there are some experts behind that, okay? And I'm telling you, if you have got a critical mind, you'll be like, this guy is not all about the president. And then there's one video, for example, there's one video where he says, you know, he brings the satire in it. At Jito, Ali Muwonfi wakwa Bali. Jito was a servant of Bali. Jito was very much Ali Musamba Shuate Muikwanganshi. Jito ale mutuma mukula weekend alama kubanki. Alevika mpaka shafika na 5.2 billion. Now, when you speak like that, to say Jito, he was being sent to the bank to deposit the money, mpaka shafika 5.2. Where are you putting Musokotwane? If Musokotwane was to really speak, because those reserves, they have grown. Those reserves have grown, but have they grown because of Jito alone? You see, conflict. There is another video where he comes up to Jito ena tatemenwe abakashana. Jito ena, you know, tatemeno mwangashi. Jito tatemeno whatever. Nabambi bali upata. At why do you hate Jito? Ata if wabasambira if utatua watemwa. Now, you know already he's showing himself that he's an educated guy, okay? More than others. And others, they don't like him. I mean, that's creating division. That is creating division.
Oh, yeah.
So, there are a number of videos, and then you have people. My brother, let me tell you, here on social media, we people who talk, when we are talking, I am able to tell who is speaking out of his conviction or is speaking because he has been paid or he has got some interest. I'm able to tell. For example, when I see at Chama America, Chama America, no munanko, you know those guys, those chaps. I mean, you know those chaps, when they come out, you know there is some thunder behind, you know, you know. So when you see some people like Sia1 is a businessman. Sia1 is a businessman. I know Sia1. Sia1 will not rise for nothing. Sia1 is a businessman. And when Sia1 start insisting, Jito, where did Sia1 know about Jito? How come Sia1 is making an issue of Jito? What about those guys who are making satire? You know, those comedians who are making satire. I know those young people, and I don't want to talk about them. But when they are making those videos, taking that time, who is paying for it? Are you telling me those guys, on their own, they make these videos for Jito?
Wow.
You see what I mean? So there, Muntwandi, you can say whatever you want. I would say I respect your opinion, but from my perspective, from my experience, I know somebody is paying for these videos. Somebody's paying for them. And who is that woman? Who has that interest? Yeah.
No, Mr. Tayali, thank you very much. I think I've picked one or two, especially on the Jito's point. I think you are right. Thank you so much.
And my brother, before you go, brother, I have nothing against Jito. I have nothing against. My only issue is that right now, you cannot bring in other agendas that will demotivate others. Because Nainande Fokuba president, and another person wants to be president, and so on and so forth. So when you start positioning yourself like that, you create division. You see?
Division.
You create division, you demotivate others. When you start coming out at atemuikwa, Jito, ayo atemuikwa, atemuikwa kuli bali, Jito pantu ena alalanda ne Chinese. Even that, you know, the way Jito comes out, you know, for example, let me say this, let me take this opportunity to say this. The way Jito comes out, Jito knows how to speak Chinese, right? And now, Jito is on the delegation of Hakainde Hichilema. I don't think Jito in those meetings is there as an interpreter. He's not an interpreter. And so, when you are not an interpreter, it is rude for you to speak in another language other than the language, the official language. When Hakainde Hichilema is sitting that side with his delegation, if you could even know the language, it is rude for you to speak in another language that your other delegates don't understand, because you're not speaking alone. It is not your conversation. It is a conversation for everybody. So for that reason, you are not supposed to come out to shine speaking another language, and your other delegates, they are quiet. No, that is wrong.
Yeah, getting on that point, I think you remind me of the debate that I had with these other colleagues from these various political parties. You know, there was the point, I don't know whether that was a summit, and the president actually requested, or rather asked to say, where's Jito? Then Jito says, Mr. President, am I available? So we had a similar conversation that he said, look, if this guy is a trustee of the president, I think it's more prudent that he stands on the trajectory where he puts the image of the president on the map, unlike putting himself on what he is doing currently on TikTok, is on his page and on other platforms. Now, you've just spoken my mind, and that's why I wanted you to hammer much more to say, how is he campaigning, or how is he actually availing himself much other than the issues all to do with the president? No, I understand that now.
Yeah, and you know, others, they will not be able to say it. This is why I like my position as a public lawyer, because me, I can say this. But other guys in State House, I'm sure they have seen this and they don't like it. I mean, how would you feel you are with your boss and your colleague starts speaking another language and you don't even understand what he's saying? That's wrong, man. Anyway, thanks very much. You know, you don't try to outshine everybody. Don't try to outshine everybody. You have to, when you are with a team, to be a team player, be at the same level. Be at the same level. It's a teamwork, not where you pull out yourself like the most beloved. No. When you do that, you could be talented, you could be whatever. Your talent, your gifts will be spited. They will be spited. So kuitamba wino sana at Tayali, you are just jealous of Jito. Well, I can never be an economic advisor. Never. I can never be jealous. How can I be jealous of somebody whose position I can never take? I can never be an economic advisor. How can I be an economic advisor? I'm not that educated. I mean, Jito is educated. He's good at that. So I can never be jealous of Jito. Kuti tuatinta na kona banani ati banani aba balevi ngoma ile nchito ningabomba ko ile ati political advisor kuti na abomba ile not even economic advisor how te tinja shino question nangufeva Hakainde Hichilema nangu bali insontera yo tayari so economic advisor ati na bakateka ifefya ma inflation income per capita ishakishiba. So I can never be be jealous of Jito. The only thing is that Jito is jumping the gun. You don't play that in politics. Bala kupata, and I'm sure Jito wali mupata tetiwa mwebe fie. Ukumi ave nchinga. I'm sure Jito wali mupata tetiwa mwebe fie. But nena alandi pofe na alanda for free. Make those videos. Campaign for the president. Build the image of the president, but build the image of the president, not yourself. The moment you the president might not do anything, but surely it will demotivate others. For the failure sharp. Anyway, to Alanda San, I think I've explained I've taken your cause, and I've explained a number of issues. Basically, just to summarize now, just to summarize what I've been talking about tonight is that, number one, this issue of, Tayali be with Mundubile, Tayali be with Hakainde Hichilema. Yes, I thank you for your advice, but the decision is mine. And at this point in time, I am betting on President Hakainde Hichilema. I am betting on President Hakainde Hichilema. No, but Hakainde Hichilema will not recognize you. Hakainde Hichilema, whatever. That is not going to be my preoccupation. That is not going to be my preoccupation. I will do what I have to do. If Hakainde Hichilema sees it fit that I can work somewhere, not a political, not economic advisor, but if he sees somewhere to say, okay, Tayali can work there, I mean, he will put me there. But it will not be up to me. Not if you let them, because Tayali do this, Tayali do this. Let's allow the president to be on his own, to make his decision as he pleases. Whether he recognizes me or he doesn't, I will have nothing against President Hakainde Hichilema. I will have nothing against President Hakainde Hichilema. And if tomorrow, because me, I'm looking for partners, I'm still weak. I need people that I can work with. I'm still weak, especially economically, financially. I'm still weak. So if I can have people that can work with me, if you see that tomorrow I'm working with somebody else, it is not about, it is advancing my political ambitions. It is advancing my political ambition. I'll gain experience. It is good. But if that doesn't come, I mean, honestly, you people, we should be reasonable. If that doesn't come, something else comes up. Honestly, I should be able to take it. And this is just the truth. I should be able to take it. But at the moment, I am with Hakainde Hichilema. Whether he recognizes me, he doesn't, I will still support him. And even if I worked with somebody comes up to say, no, Tayali, let's work together and whatever, I will still respect President Hakainde Hichilema. That I can assure you. I will still respect Hakainde Hichilema. And whenever I have to do whatever I have to do for President Hakainde Hichilema, I will do. I will do. This you can be rest assured. This you can be rest assured. Then, Tasila can be vice president. Yes, Tasila can be vice president. Very good vice president to Brian Mundubile. Or whoever. But the problem, Tasila at the moment, is embroidered in this issue of the body. I wish they could bury the body. And from my perspective, Tasila and the siblings are losing more than those who are using the body for their political ambitions. They are the ones who are suffering. Those children of Edgar Lungu, I know if they engage government, because, I know if they started, there are people that they can talk to. And the message went to the president. I'm sure the president will listen to them. I'm sure things can be worked out. But as it is, they have become refugees. They are stuck. When they shouldn't be. All they need is to bury and then continue with their lives. And not allow Makebi Zulu to take advantage of the situation. I strongly believe that this is because of Makebi Zulu and Esther. And I say Esther because Esther, she's the next of kin. If Esther makes a decision to say, no, let's bury, we would bury. But Esther, I know she doesn't want. And she doesn't want not because of whatever. She doesn't want because of the cases. Because of the cases. And all that, again, can be looked at. I strongly believe that, if all these cases, all these issues, were brought in open, in transparent manner, I think these issues can be resolved. All of them can be resolved. There is no issue which I see that cannot be resolved. They can be resolved, even court cases, whatever. All these cases can be resolved. All they need is a good negotiator. Unfortunately, the negotiator that they had put in front has got personal interest. Makebi Zulu's interest is not to have the Lungu family free. That is not his interest. Makebi Zulu's interest is not to have the Lungu family free. Makebi Zulu's interest is him to become president. This is the problem. If they had chosen somebody without these unbridled ambition, the situation would have been different. But they chose somebody who has got these interests, these presidential ambitions. So he pushes this for his personal agenda, for his presidential ambitions. But if somebody was genuinely a negotiator, he would have discussed the interest of the Lungu family. And I'm sure by now we would have reached an amicable solution. There is nothing that is so difficult that cannot be resolved. Court cases, whatever, all those issues can be resolved. I'm very sure. Hakainde Hichilema wants to see that body buried. Not if you have that he wants to see the body, Shanchani, Hakainde Hichilema is getting sick, Hakainde Hichilema remo nefio, takuli nefia ifyo. It is all about statecraft. It's all about statecraft. Hakainde Hichilema Tayali, former head of state Mamushike South Africa, when he's sitting in State House, he can't. He must fight for it. He must fight. Hakainde Hichilema swore to defend the sovereignty of our country and everything about our state. And that's what he's doing. But all those can be resolved if the negotiator was different. The problem has been Makebi Zulu. He is happy the way it is. Makebi Zulu is happy because tuashika Makebi Zulu's political career nishiaserenkana. Anyway, so that is on Tasila Lungu. And these other issues have come up, like the issue of is Edgar Lungu dead? Edgar Lungu is dead. I am very sure of that. Mulave, Poyo, Tafwa, whatever. No, Edgar Lungu is dead. Then the issue of the court case. The court case, they are waiting for grounds of appeal to be filed in. Once they are filed in, the state will respond. Once they respond, the appellants may also respond. And once that is done, then a date will be set where they will go to court. I don't know when that date will be, but after this give and take 2 months, I am very sure that this case will close before the elections. Makebi Zulu is hoping that this situation will protract until after the elections, because at least it is giving him leverage. You have also seen that Makebi Zulu has been tinkering with the law, daring. You know why Makebi Zulu has been daring? It is because he knows he cannot be arrested. He knows he can't be arrested. Why can't he be arrested? Because of Ichitumbi. Makebi Zulu has been misbehaving. He has been misbehaving. And you see the police, hesitant. Why they are hesitant is because it will look like Mulandwachitumbi, So Makebi Zulu is really benefiting out of Ichitumbi. He is really benefiting out of Ichitumbi. And that's why Makebi Zulu would not want that body to be buried. He would not want that body to be buried. But the question is, Tasila Lungu, are you going to continue being used by these people? Makebi Zulu, that what I'm saying is true. Makebi, Tasila and other siblings, that Hakainde Hichilema, if you engage him, even on your cases and everything, you can reach an amicable solution. The problem is Makebi Zulu. Are you going to continue to be abused by Makebi Zulu? I know, Esther, she's your mother and everything, but I'm sure if you engage nicely as a family, you can resolve this issue. You should appoint me. Appoint me as your negotiator. For that one, I can even come to Zambia. You just appoint me to negotiate for you. I can negotiate this case properly. I can negotiate. If Tasila Lungu and whatever come and approach me to say I negotiate for them, I am ready to go to Zambia to engage President Hakainde Hichilema on this one. Kaina inanishna shukira. Muna inanyoke tibankaki. Nganayat na isamu kusa negotiate. Ili ashilabena Tasila ketibandongi. They will listen to me. So maybe kututwacha 50-50. Muka nchite approach. Nka ye mchita negotiate. Nenka mchita negotiate if ya chine. If you are chine, I will cover all your issues and all these issues will be finished. Anyway, good night for now. Natotera sana. Thank you for following me. May God bless you. May God bless Zambia. Good night.